Okay, boom. So, welcome to another Studio Log, Studio Log number 3. I'm here to tell you about Studio Log. What is it, Studio Log number 3? This is the narration for Studio Log number 3 that happened this past weekend in New Orleans. So, it's a studio log outside the studio because it's still related to kind of like feeding the practice. And so, I'm just going to kind of take you through what we did. We went down there for a performance. The performance was at 9 p.m. I had to leave work immediately after work with my partner on Friday. So we got in about 12. And typically when we travel, we like to eat. So she kind of set us up to go to spot. And so I'm going to show you some of that. And then we also had a chance to hit a couple record stores. I do have some notes on those, and I'll share with y'all kind of what I picked up. I got a couple of bangers. And I think I'm also just here to report that I've got about 45 minutes before I've got to go to work. This shit is not easy, and this is also part of the practice. This is my actual daily cup of tea that I drink. It's really important to like set a ritual for yourself when you're doing 9 to 5 work. Like, make sure that you have something that you can do, that you can call your own, so you don't feel like you're going insane while you're trying to build something outside of work. And so I do have a couple of hours before work, and then I have my studio practice that happens 3 to 4 times a week, mandatory, but I'm always working. But where I gotta come in this space and do a thing. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna chop this up. So let's see, because the video is behind me, relatively edited. There's a welcome sequence. I welcome you all to this journey. And then the first spot that we go to is Suri's. It's a breakfast spot that I had been to a few years ago, but I literally forgot. And so we went there and we had the shrimp and grits. Fire. And then, but we only had that. Usually, except we go somewhere and we get the whole spread, but it was like, we're gonna go somewhere and we're gonna get one item. So this time we chose the shrimp and grits. As you can see, them hoes bust. And then from there, our next spot did we go? Oh, we took a little stroll, literally down the street, and we ran into a record store. I don't think we researched it. We ran into a record store called Nola Records, and kind of walked around a bit. And let me put this down. This is actually quite heavy.
I have friends who are doing a lot.
We walked around a bit, in the record store. And I hadn't intended on buying nothing. I just kind of wanted to see what they had. But I have a little list that I keep up with, so I don't go in a record store and buy stupid stuff. Like, buy what you actually want to build the collection that you desire, that, with music that you can speak to, that inspires you, whatever. And so they actually had Green Day Dookie in there, which is the first album that I ever bought with my own money, like cash, a CD. I bought that record. I actually didn't like it when I first got it. It took a couple of go rounds, and then then I fell in love with it, and now nostalgia has taken over my what do you call my I don't know, it's called the line of sight. Anyway, I bought that record. It's a really cool one. You'll see it in the video. And I also bought from there Jefferson Airplane. I already have a copy that I bought from another record store. I got it on discount, but I'm talking about, I had been through the ringer. It played pretty well, but the case and everything, it was kind of tough. And so they had what I'm assuming was also a used version at that location, but it was in much better condition than the one I have right now. So I picked that up too. So we left out of there with 2 records. And then we went on down the way, and the next spot that we went to was the record store, was Felix. We went to Felix's to grab some oysters. But I'm also wanting to report that I just got a phone call from a colleague about featuring some of my work in an exhibition next weekend that I'm very excited about, because it also connects to an exhibition that I'm going to be featured in, happening in St. Irving in California. If you're out there, check it out.
But yeah, so now we're gonna go to our next spot and get some charbroiled oysters from Felix.
Oh, okay. Yay! I want to say I had almost been down there when I was down there. Whenever I was down there, but they were really good. We got seated, and then we kind of looked back and saw that they had like this bar section that looked a little more like appealing to kind of the vibe we were trying to set for the oyster experience. And so the waitress noticed that, and so she took us to the back, squeezed us in at the bar, and yeah, we had us a little time. After that, where we go after that? We had the oysters. Oh, it was crawfish time. Duh. Okay, so then went down there she saw a spot before we left called Bugging Out Boils. A crawfish truck situation that sits outside of this restaurant called Miel's. And we waited in line and got 2 bags, so 4 pounds of crawfish, 1 traditional flavor and another that was called Viet Cajun. Delicious. Then had that, and so it was I like a little salty, you know, but it was salty, and so paired that with a frozen lemonade, stop playing. And so we left from there. Oh yes, and so we had timed the day perfectly, honestly. And so we left from there, and it was about almost like 4 o'clock on the dot, when we needed to kind of like wrap up so that I can go back to the house and we can all get ready to go to sound check. The sound check was at 6:30, and so yeah, I wanted to be able to like get my mind together, change my clothes, and also like warm up a little bit. So there's like a little video of me warming up. And then we went to the spot, we set up. Parking was kind of trash. It wasn't trash. I struggle in any city where I can't just get out my car, because where I'm from, you for the most part, unless you're downtown, you can just be like, I'm gonna go somewhere, and then you just put the car, and then you get out and you go do your thing. But this did require a little conversation. Had a little conversation. Eventually got, a valet situation set up, where they just let me leave my stuff out front, blah blah blah, whatever. And then what else? Okay, yeah, so we did the sound check. Sound check was cool, and then we basically just kicked it until 9. I opened up the show. It was my first time opening up anything. That was fun. I was on the mic or whatever, said a couple things. People giggled a little bit. Love that for everybody. Played my song, and we got into the set, which I feel like slam dunk. And so we did that show. It was great. Seems like we had a great response from it. And then from there, of course, because we finished at like 11, your girl was hungry again. And so we were sitting in the car trying to figure out what we were gonna eat. My partner was with me. And we found a place. Oh my God, we didn't find a place. We talked to the valet guy, because at this point I had built up a relationship, because I was like, please don't tow my car. And the valet, we'll call him Sid. Sid had recommended 2 places, a place called Donuts and a place called Melba's, because they had a little of everything. He was like, don't worry about it, it's called Donuts, but they have everything. But there's another spot called Melba's, who he believed was better. We're like, okay, love that. We're obviously gonna go to the one that's better. And so we get there, and Melba's is booming. I mean, look it up. She's jumping. She's got everything from like books to lottery tickets. I don't know. She's got a lot going on. And so we got our food. We look at the plates, right? Because you're not gonna buy it's hot plates. We're looking like, looks good. Let's do it. It's 12 a.m. I'm ready to rock and roll. We get our food. You'll see the food. Ebony takes the first bite, and she's like, I was like, uh-oh, which you'll hear. Uh-oh. You need a little help. I was like, what does that mean? That's crazy. And so I began to eat my food, and I too am like, And so then she asked me about the mac and cheese, which you will also hear.
Hey, your mac and cheese.
And so, unfortunately, Melba, I don't know if we caught you at the wrong time, but it was not it. And so we went home sad because when a meal does not feed not just my stomach, but my spirit, it actually makes my blood boil.
This shit nasty.
Which I need to talk to somebody about that, but it really actually makes my blood boil. Now, it was too early in the morning. No, it wasn't. I was mad. I sat up on the bed confused at like 12:30, 1 a.m. just perturbed. I was going through their social media trying to understand. I was checking the comments. There was nobody. There was like 4 to 5 stars on Google. I was confused. Woke up in the morning still a little perturbed, but then we went to our next spot because the train keeps rolling. We went to Bearcat, which we've been there before. Love her down. Got the blueberry lemonade, which smacked. My pancake came cold, and the blueberries weren't. Anyway, I don't want to just be out here complaining, but Bearcat does hit. Do recommend. Check them out. We went from there. Where we go? Oh, Lil Baby wanted some more crawfish before we got out of there, so we went to a spot called Cajuns. I believe, yes, Cajuns restaurant, and they do a whole sweep of seafood and stuff. And I had the crab legs, like a little pound of crab legs, so like 4 to 5 crab legs. And she had some crawfish and pig feet, and she seemed happy, and I was happy. And then we hit the road, and that is really the trip. Just want to close out by saying, I don't know. That's a trip. Another studio log in the books. I guess I'll have to film. Oh my God. Hold on. Maybe not done yet. Let me grab the records. 4 more. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh my God. Wait. I need to tell you about the record stores. This is going to be way too long. So like I said, this was NOLA Records. Loved it. The next day when we went to Bearcat, after that, one of the trips that we did was I wanted to check out another record store. So we went to Peaches. I kept hearing about Peaches is popular. She's a popular girl. We went there. We went to Peaches. And yes, I get there. I filmed the front of the building. I'm like, it's big. I'm finna go in here and have me a little time, and then we're gonna hit the road. I get into Peaches, and it's cool. I'm looking around like, okay, looks like they got a lot of stuff. Let me get accustomed to the record store. Sometimes, you got to get in the record store and get accustomed to what they got, the layouts, how they're organizing their stuff. I pick up my first record. It was $50. I thought that was kind of odd, but I was like, okay. But then it was like a trend. It didn't matter what record I picked up, whether it was Stevie Wonder, The Life of Plants, or Stevie Wonder Christmas tunes. They were both $50. And I said, oh, they in here busting heads. This must be a tourist spot. I gotta go. I think I spent like 7 minutes in there before I was like, absolutely not. You're not finna get me. I'm a visitor, not a tourist. So then I was like, oh my God, we gotta go. Because my partner was waiting for me in the car. I was checking Reddit to see, first of all, I checked Reddit to make sure I wasn't tripping. And Reddit was like, 100% a tourist spot. Check out these places. They recommended 2. One of them was called Sisters in Christ. I'm interested. I looked it up, and it was just right up the street, literally right up the street. So we go down there, and I walk in, and it's much smaller, but much more like, yes, y'all really do music in here. So I'm looking around, and they do records. I think it was a couple of CDs, a couple of cassettes, and they have a very fun collection of zines. So I spent a pretty decent amount of time in there. And I don't know if I said it, but they seem to cater a little more to like punk, rock, grunge and stuff, but they had a mix of everything. They had a really nice 90s section from mixed genres like of rock to R&B, some classics. It was just, honestly, I thought it was a record store full of hitters, not gonna lie to you. But I picked up 4 from them. And wouldn't it be funny that I found out I filmed this whole thing and I'm like off center, off kilter, something like that. Okay, so this is what hold on. Let's talk about these 3 first. I picked up, Oh, and then also like I'm understanding I'm not this wasn't particularly like a niche pickup, right? These are like stuff that you love that you've been needing to have in a collection. Let's go ahead and grab it. So I did grab Rage Against the Machine self-titled album. Right? Don't let me lie to you. If I'm lying, I'll fix it. Okay? But Rage Against the Machine self-titled album. I've been listening to it lately because when I'm at work, I do like album studies. This is going to be entirely too long. When I'm at work, I do like album studies, and I was like, let me give Rage Against the Machine a true listen, and I found them wonderful. Like, honestly, if you really listen to them, like listen to my guy, no skips. Okay. Then I got Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies, classic. This is another record, or like when the tracks come on that I feel 12. And so I'm also like building a collection off of like what makes me feel 12. And it's them and music that sounds like them, not just like literally sounds like them, but like there's a certain like Maisie Star is that's one that makes me feel like I'm 12 and everything is fine. So scoop this, and then we also scoop this one here. Bow Hole. Like I said, another one of the types of records that make me go, wow, I'm in another world right now. I'm very happy with these. Oh, and okay. And then last, hold on. Last but not least, I stopped being stupid, because literally it's just been about being stupid. And I finally bought Erykah Badu's Mama's Gun. This is, if I like be for real, if I be like so for real, Erykah Badu is my number one girl. Between Erykah Badu and D'Angelo, like, and I dragged my feet on getting these folks records. And so I am trying to catch up. This is one that you know what? We'll do an album tour another day. Love. Okay. Hopefully I don't have to film that again. I don't know what any of this looks like, but I'm also filming in ProRes. And so before I started this, I had 27 minutes. I'm certain that we are at the 26th. And so I'm going to cut it off there. For anybody who watches this, thank you so much. Give your girl a like. It's encouraging. Toodles. I have to go to work.